All right, what's good all day, fam? All right, so that was a crazy game. Monday Night Football, Eagles, Chargers. I know I predicted the Eagles to win this game, but deep down in like the depths of my mind, I was just thinking the Chargers was gonna lose this game. I was just like, because this is not a game that the Chargers historically wins. Outside of us having a coach like Monty Schottenheimer, but I got to remember we have Jim Harbaugh now. The Chargers are being trained to know how to win games because Jim Harbaugh is that type of coach. But you know, with all the injuries that we had and the significant injuries that the Chargers had in the offensive line, and our receivers just not getting open, and Justin Herbert playing with one hand, I'm so used to Chargers losing this game. I'm still suffering from PTSD, and I'm still afraid of freaking, you know, thinking that the Chargers can pull out and win. But and there was a lot of times during this game where I was just like, yo, we're gonna lose this game. And Jalen Hurts, he's a clutch quarterback. He's not a great quarterback. I think he's above average. I'm still trying to decide if he's a good quarterback. I'm still trying to decide that. I definitely don't think he's a terrible quarterback. I mean, I would rather have Jalen Hurts than Brock Purdy or who else, or Trevor Lawrence or something like that. But I'm still trying to think. Like still trying to decide. I'm still trying to get a feel out of Jalen Hurts because it's really hard for me to be able to really analyze the type of quarterback that Jalen Hurts is outside of how talented his team is around him. And when Jalen Hurts, when he has games, a variety of games where he doesn't really do anything in his team, and it's obvious that his team wins and he has nothing to do with his team, it's really hard to really give Jalen Hurts a lot of credit. But at the same time, when his team does need him, he shows up. Prior to like outside of tonight, he shows up. He's clutch. He's very clutch. So that's why I came to the conclusion of just saying I think Jalen Hurts is just an average quarterback, and it's okay. It's okay with that because outside of tonight, I mean, Jalen Hurts is not going to find a way for his team to lose games. He's definitely not going to be the reason why they'll lose. He may not be the reason why they win, but he's definitely not going to be the reason why they lose. And for the most part, if they need him to make plays for him to win, he will do that. And he was kind of low-key doing that in the fourth quarter and especially in overtime. He made a very big play. The Chargers should have closed the game out early on in the game, early on in the overtime, when I think it was like 30 long. I think it was like 30 and 23. And then Devontae Smith made a huge play. Jalen Hurts made a big throw. Jalen Hurts had some big throws in this game. But his bad play was he was awful for the most part. Terrible throws. And I will say this. It was more about the Chargers defense than it was about how terrible Jalen Hurts was playing. I can't just knock Jalen Hurts for this game. The Chargers defense came out and played lights out. I can't say they were dominant because they gave up some big plays. They gave up some big plays. A.J. Brown. They gave up one big play to Devontae Smith. And then they gave up that huge play to Saquon Barkley. Now, that was a huge trick play. They caught the Chargers off their heels. Saquon Barkley busted through that hole. Boom. They was going in there doing a fake, making it look like they was going to do what is it? I can't believe I don't know what this play is called. I mean, the tush push. Yeah. They was going out there looking, faking it, making it look like they was going to do a tush push. And then Jalen Hurts tossed it at Saquon, and Saquon Barkley busts it down for 56 yards. Touchdown. That play pissed me off. But, hey, it was a very finance play, and it worked. Outside of that play, the Chargers could have closed that game out a lot sooner. But where I'm getting at is that outside of those few big plays that the Chargers gave up, the Chargers defense was so physical that they knocked Jalen Hurts off his game. Well, I mean, Jalen Hurts I can't really say they knocked him off his game because Jalen Hurts has been average all year, but they really made Jalen Hurts do uncharacteristic things. So this is like, I've been saying for a while now, for the past couple of years, that Jalen Hurts is a very overrated quarterback. I never really thought, I can say I never, like, outside of that, outside when he went all pro, I think it was like his second year in the league when he went all pro, second or third year in the league when he went all pro, and he went to the Super Bowl. I had him as like my top two. I was like, yo, he's a great. I mean, especially when he showed out, he outplayed Patrick Mahomes the first time they played in the Super Bowl. I wrote an article about how I think great I think Jalen Hurts was, because I'm like, bro, like the Eagles probably lost this game, but Jalen Hurts, I mean, is a great quarterback. You showed out, you outplayed Patrick Mahomes, and you freaking like almost went all pro. I mean, I can't. I was like, so I wrote an article about how great of a quarterback he was, and then after that, he just been so average year in, year out. After that first Super Bowl run, he has been a very average quarterback. He's been clutch, but he's been super average. And I can't put him in my top five just because the Eagles is winning games, just because he's won a Super Bowl. He hasn't been the reason. Like I said, he has been clutch in some games, but outside of that, for the most part, collectively, Jalen Hurts has been extremely average, you know? And so it's whatever. I mean, this game, like this is like I said, this is not a game that the Chargers should win. This is like, but we have a new coach now. New coach, new identity, new team, and we are a very physical team. We like Louis Tui Tolopu, I think you pronounce his name. I think it's Louis Tui Pelotu, Darren James. Oh wait, those guys are Cam Hart, Tony Jefferson. Those guys are out. RJ Mickens. Those guys are out there making plays, man, and they are such a physical defense. And I've been going hard on the Chargers all year, talking about how inconsistent their defense has been, because their defense has been pretty inconsistent throughout the year. But when they show up, they're they're one of the best defenses in the league. And if they can really just stay in tune and stay consistent, they can definitely show up the Texans of being one of the best defenses in the league. Because I think when the Chargers are who they're supposed to be, and you got the Texans, and then you got the Broncos, and then you got the Bears, those four defenses, those are the four most physical defenses in the entire league. And now, if I were to rate my top five defenses, I would have to say it's the Houston Texans, the Denver Broncos, the Bears, and then the Chargers when they're supposed to play how they're supposed to play. So it's gonna be the Chargers are 9-4 right now, and I know I picked the Chargers to beat the Eagles. Like I predicted them to beat the Eagles. What did I predict them to beat the Eagles? Like what did I say? I said I said 25-23. So I said the Chargers is going to beat the Eagles 25-23. What they beat them 20? What was it? They beat them 22-19 or something like that. So I wasn't too far off. But I wasn't even confident with that score, with that prediction. Like I was just like, yo, like I mean, I was confident, but at the same time, I was very nervous. I was very nervous because I'm like, the Eagles can walk away with this win. And there was just some plays, man, where I just like, yo, like, I think we're going to lose this game. With Justin Herbert, let me talk about Justin Herbert, my dude, my dog, Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert is the most toughest quarterback in the entire NFL. Now, that's saying a lot because Matthew Stafford is still playing. And Matthew Stafford is a very tough quarterback. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of tough quarterbacks in this league. But the injuries that Justin Herbert plays through, the amount of hits that Justin Herbert takes, he's tough as nails, man. He is super tough. This guy played with broken ribs. He is gutsy, man. He played with broken ribs. He's playing with a broken finger. I mean, he deserves more respect. And this is why, I get so frustrated with the media when they disrespect Justin Herbert, because I'm like, bro, you guys got to stop knocking my quarterback. I've had literally watched every single game of Justin Herbert, and I know how great of a player he is. And it's time for the media to start showing him some respect. Now, he didn't throw for all that many yards this game. He had one touchdown, but he had some very clutch plays. He won this game with his legs. He won this game with he was the leading rusher with Marion Hampton back in Kamani Vidal. He still came out on top as the leading rusher for the Chargers. And that's with no offensive line. I mean, Bradley Bozeman and then Trey Pickens, he got injured, he got knocked out, and our offensive line, they're holding up a little bit, but Justin Herbert, he got sacked. He had a career high of sacks this tonight. 7 sacks. He's never been sacked that much. He just had surgery on his hand last week, and now he comes back the next following game, with a broken hand, with a glove on his hand, a patch, like a plate and a patch in his glove, and he leads his team in rushing yards. He leads his team in rushing yards, and he gets sacked 7 times. And I got mad at my brother because my brother was like, "Oh, I was getting mad at Justin Herbert for holding on to the ball too long." I'm like, "Bro, like, what are you talking about? He's not holding on to the ball too long. First off, his receivers are not getting open downfield. He doesn't have a number one wide receiver. He doesn't really have a running game for real. He doesn't have an offensive line. He has to let the play form. That's why he's leading the whole entire team in rushing yards, because there's nothing open. His offensive line is not blocking for him. He can't just hike the ball and then throw it. He has one of the quickest releases in the entire NFL. He's not like Shador, just sitting back and then holding onto the ball. When you're talking about a quarterback just holding on to the ball too long, you're thinking about like somebody like maybe like Shador. Yeah, like I said, Shador Sanders or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you got guys wide open and you're just sitting there still holding the ball. It's not the same case. Scrambling, forming, trying to make a play, stretching the play, prolonging the play for your guys to get open, trying to make your guys make a play or something like what Joe Burrow would do. That's not the same as just holding on to the ball too long. It's different. It's different playing styles. It's different techniques. So, and it's definitely not the same with Justin Herbert. He's never been the type of person, the quarterback, to just hold on to the ball too long. That's never been his knock. His knock has always been that a lot of his balls do get batted down at the line of scrimmage. And the reason why that happens is because his playing style, how he throws the ball, and it's a lot of things that goes into why his balls, like his throws, they get knocked down at the line of scrimmage. And the defensive linemen, they're studying because Justin Herbert is he's not as robotic as he used to be, but he's like pretty much since he's been in the league, he's such a robotic player. The defensive linemen, they can time his throws, and they can, as they timing it, as he throwing it, they can jump up and then they can knock the ball down, So that's one of the reasons why Justin Herbert, his balls gets batted down so much at the line of scrimmage. But yeah, man, this game was so phenomenal. I was so happy to see Tony Jefferson make that play. I mean, when Tony Jefferson's on the field, great things happen. That dude makes plays, man. He's a childhood friend of mine. I know Tony Jefferson, know his family and everything. And, he's a great person. He's a cool dude. He's a very humble person. And he plays hard, and he's highly intelligent. He's a highly intelligent safety. He's a very, very smart football player, very smart defensive player. And that's why he makes plays. I mean, he's not the fastest guy. He's not the most athletic person, but he is very strong. He's very physical. He's a tone setter, and he knows how to make plays because he's highly intelligent. He's a very smart safety. He's always at the right spot. He has a nose for the ball. And, and that comes from being a very highly intelligent player, highly intelligent safety. And that's Tony Jefferson, so he retired and he comes back and, he got to start for the Chargers. I mean, he was on the practice squad for a little bit, and then I think then we traded it away. And I was so happy that we traded it. I forget the safety's name. Aloy Gilman. I wasn't really all that big on Aloy Gilman. I didn't really. He's a physical safety. He's a good run stopping safety, but I always felt like we should have always kept Tony Jefferson and then got rid of, and maybe we can get rid of Aloy. And that ended up being the case. We traded Aloy to the Ravens for Owe, and Owe is working out. Owe is out there making plays for the Chargers. He fits well with the Chargers. He is almost like he's pretty much a Khalil Mack. Owe is. I mean, you talk about Owe, Louis, Tui, Toloptu, and Khalil Mack and Bud Dupree. If the Chargers can be consistent, we can go very far. If they can keep Justin Herbert upright, we can go so far, man. We can probably make a run to the Super Bowl. I said this in my last video. I was like, yo, like we can make a run to the Super Bowl if we can keep Justin Herbert upright. And if our defense can play consistent week in, week out. Now, we have a very, very tough schedule, and we can win out. We can. It's going to be tough though. I think that Dallas game is going to get us. I think it might. I think Dallas might sneak one. If we lose to Dallas, it's fine. I mean, I think we can sweep the Chiefs. I think we can sweep Denver. I really do. But Dallas may get us. I think Dallas. I think we might lose that game when we play against the Dallas Cowboys. Even though Dallas Cowboys they didn't play well this past week, but I think that I think we can still beat the Chiefs. You know, Dallas is the team that I'm worried about, but we could still make a run to the playoffs by losing to Dallas. But yeah, but let's just go over some of some of the teams. I mean, the scores, my predictions. Like I said that I want to see real quick. I want to compare. My outcomes of these games, and because I think I was right on some games. I think. Let me see. Hold on. But let me see. All right, so like I said that Seattle was going to beat the Falcons 30-15. They beat the Falcons 37-9. And then I said the Steelers was going to beat the Ravens 20-24. I said the Ravens were going to beat the Steelers 24-20, and the Ravens the Steelers beat the Ravens 27-22. And then I said the Browns was going to beat the Titans 24-23. And then the Browns did beat the Titans. They beat them 20. They beat them. No, the Titans lost to the Browns. But Shedeur Sanders, he played very great that game. And I think it was something about a situation about Kevin Stefanski taking Shedeur out of the game for a 2-point conversion, and they failed to get it. And it's obvious that Kevin Stefanski is just trying to make it much more harder for Shedeur than what he should be. And I actually used to really like Kevin Stefanski, and I don't like him no more. I mean, because bro, you have a young quarterback, and your job is to put your players in the best position to perform based on their skill set, and you are putting Shedeur Sanders in the worst position for him to fail. You don't deserve to be coaching in the NFL ever again. You have killed the integrity of your coaching. You are destroying the integrity of the game for you to take Shedeur Sanders out of the game into. I didn't even watch the game, but I was listening to some podcasts about it and stuff. And even though I love the running back, I love the running back. What's his name? Is it Junkins? He's a physical running back, great running back. I think he should always be on the field. Always. He's an every down back. But your quarterback should be on the field at all times as well. And you take him out for a weird, stupid wildcat form position, and you freaking lose the game. Like I said, I used to like Stefanski a lot. I really did. But I have lost a lot of respect for him, because now I'm seeing that you're not a great coach. You're not a great coach. I don't care what you've done previously, bro. Like for you to make it hard for your player to prevail, to play well, and for you to purposely put him in bad situations for him to look bad. You're a bad person, bro. Like you're a bad coach. And I don't think he should have another opportunity in the NFL ever again. I think after this season, I hope he gets fired, and I hope he never gets a job for any team in the NFL. I hope he needs to go to college, or he needs to go to high school. Not even college. He needs to go to high school. And if he does go to college, I hope he doesn't get like a D1 offer, which he probably more than likely will. But at the same time, I hope people look at him and it's like, dog, like you cannot be trusted. Like why? Like what you have done to Shedeur Sanders, like that's you know, that's not good. That's like, you know, and the fact of the matter is that he doesn't deserve to have a high profile coaching job ever again for the rest of his life. He doesn't. He doesn't. I mean, Shador Sanders has done absolutely nothing to you, dog. Nothing. And for you to do this is that's bad. Like, it's terrible, you know. And I hate coaches. I can't say I hate coaches. I hate the fact that he's doing that. You know, I mean, I coach football. I coached football before, and you should have a love for your players. I don't care if you didn't draft him or whatnot. I don't care if Shador Sanders is not your type of player. I don't care. You're his coach. He's your player. He's your quarterback. He is the franchise quarterback now. I can care less if you have differences in him. Learn to has a more of a Shador Sanders has a more of a what's the word I'm looking for? He has more power over that franchise than you do. Like, who the hell are you, Kevin Stefanski? Like, who the hell are you? You're nobody. You know, so screw him, man. I'm done with Stefanski. Like, I defended Stefanski I defended him, and I've always was saying that he was a good coach, but he's a nobody. He's trash, man. That guy's trash. He's pure trash, man. So screw him. But yeah, and I don't want to keep wasting my time keep talking about him, to be honest with you. But yeah, so and let me go back to the Ravens and the Steelers game. I mean, what's going on with Lamar Jackson? I mean, I think Lamar Jackson, like, what was his stats? Let me go over Lamar Jackson's stats. Aaron Rodgers played all right. Well, stat-wise, he did. 23, 34, 284 yards, 1 touchdown. And then DK Metcalf, he had a pretty good game. And then the Ravens, Lamar Jackson was, like, I feel like, is Lamar Jackson, is he still like injured, but we just don't know? Like, because he is playing bad, man. 1935, 219 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. He's not playing well at all. Yeah. I don't know. The Ravens, they might miss the playoffs. Like, for real. What's their Ravens remaining schedule? Let me see. Let's see here. What's the Ravens schedule? The Ravens remaining schedule. All right, so they got. Let me see. Okay. So they played Pittsburgh, and then they lost to Pittsburgh. And then they got the Bengals. They got the Patriots. They got the Packers. They got, bro. I don't think the Ravens gonna win any of these games. They're probably gonna lose to the Bengals. And they're probably gonna lose. They're more likely gonna lose to the Patriots. They're more likely going to lose to the Packers, and then they're more likely going to get swept by the Steelers again. They play the Steelers again in the last game of the season. Yeah, the Ravens are not making it to the playoffs. They're done. And if they do make it to the playoffs, they're not going to be a threat. They're just not. Hopefully, Lamar Jackson can get it together next year. You know, I'm a huge fan of Lamar. I like Lamar Jackson, but this year is just not it for him. It's been a very weird year for quarterbacks, for teams. It's not really like not one dominant team in the NFL right now. I mean, you got some teams that are really great, that has been very great, winning games consistently, like the Broncos, the Patriots, you know, but it's been a very, very weird year. Very weird year. I mean, Is it just has it been just very weird, or has the league just gotten more competitive? That's something to really look into. You know, I've watched some like some games has been extremely competitive this year, like very very competitive games, very exciting games. Even the teams with the bad records are out there competing, you know, and that's what I like. It's good for the NFL. Now, one thing I will say, now that I'm on the Ravens game too, the Ravens the Ravens in the Ravens in the Steelers game, something has to be done about these refs. I know there was a controversial call about the Isaiah Likely call in touchdown, and he obviously caught that ball. I looked at the replay, and these I've always said, man, if there is one job that AI can just take over and just make it's completely just take over, like not have any humans involved, is referee. I can't stand referees. Like somehow they need to just have referees just you need to somehow have some type of robots or robotic referees out there or AI out there calling the game, because these referees, they are destroying the integrity of the game. I am getting so sick and tired of these referees making themselves like be known, making themselves a part of the game, which they're really not. You're supposed to just call a good game. That's it. Just call a good game. If there's a penalty, flag it. That's it. Everything else, all the other nonsense that referees they're missing calls and they're calling, like saying that it wasn't a touchdown by Isaiah. Like, bro, like what are you doing? This is what making people who really are not. This is what making people question the game. And you got people who are betting and all that nonsense and all that stuff, and then you got referees doing stuff like that. People are going to say the NFL is fixed. You know what I'm saying? So I think like something needs to be done about the referees. They need to be disciplined, just like they discipline players, just like they discipline coaches. They need to be fined, just like coaches are being fined, just like players being fined. And they need to lose their job if they keep it up. I'm getting sick and tired of NFL referees. I'm getting sick and tired of referees freaking deciding the outcome of games. And like the Ravens lost this game because of the stupid call that they called back from Isaiah Likely. So it's terrible. And I've seen this too many times as growing up, watching the game, seeing teams miss playoffs or whatever because referees missing calls or having bad calls. I'm tired of it. And then it has got to the point where bad calls is a part of the game, where players and coaches has to adjust and has to accept bad play calling. That should not be the case. Bad play calling should not be a part of the game. But now it has, because you got stupid ass referees not knowing how to call good games. And I'm getting tired of it. Really, I really am. I would love for somehow some type of technology to take over their jobs where referees cannot have a job anymore, because they don't deserve to have a job anymore in the NFL. They just don't. I'm tired of them. I'm tired of them trying to make themselves relevant. You're not relevant. You're a ref. Nobody cares about you. Nobody tunes in the game to see referees. You're nobodies. You're not that important. So stop trying to make yourself important. Like, what the hell, man? It's annoying. Your job is not that hard. So, screw the referees, man. I'm tired of them. Really am. But let's move on. Like, okay, so I said the Jags was gonna beat the Colts 25-23. And oh yeah, I gotta give a shout out to Shedeur Sanders also for throwing over almost 400 yards. And what he threw for like almost 400 yards in. What was it? Let me see. Because Shedeur Sanders showed out, man. He showed out, and you got a piece of crap like Kevin Stefanski trying to make it even more harder for him. Shedeur Sanders should just win Rookie of the Year just for dealing with that piece of crap alone. Yeah, Shedeur, he was 23 for 42, 364 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. He had a hell of a game, man. He had a hell of a game. Hell of a game. He did all that with the Browns offense. Shedeur is that. Shedeur is him, man. He's a great quarterback. He should get Rookie of the Year just for dealing with Kevin Stefanski's nonsense. He really should. Screw Kevin Stefanski. But I said that the Jags was going to beat the Colts 25-23. The Jags, they did beat the Colts 36-19. So I wasn't too far off with that. I wasn't too far off with that at all. And then so I said that the oh man, I said the Commanders was gonna beat the Vikings. Damn, I was way off on this game. Bro, the Commanders got blown out. They got destroyed. And has there been a shutout all year? Is this the first shutout? Man, the Vikings destroyed the Commanders 31-0. Damn. Yo, I said the Commanders was gonna beat the Vikings 30-21. I was way off on that one. All right, and then so like the Jets and the Dolphins. Let's see. Hold on. Let me see what JJ McCarthy did that game because that's crazy. They put up 31 points. Let me see. Oh snap! Jaden Daniels played. He was terrible. It was 9 for 20 for 78 yards, no touchdowns, one pick. I told y'all earlier this year, even though Jaden Daniels was injured, I was like, yo, I think this year Jaden Daniels is gonna he's gonna struggle. He is going to struggle. Von Miller is still playing. That's crazy. Man. Let me see what JJ McCarthy did. JJ McCarthy, he was solid. He was 16-23, 163 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was solid. What did Jay Jetta do? Let me see. What Jay Jetta do? And Jay Jetta did nothing. Jay Jetta was 2 for 11. So who had a touchdown? TJ Hawkinson and Jay Oliver. Jay Oliver had 2 touchdowns, 2 receiving touchdowns. Jordan Addison didn't even have a touchdown. That's awesome. Naylor didn't even have a touchdown. So that's dope, man. James McCarthy had a pretty good game. Hopefully he can stay consistent. That's crazy. They blew them out. Like I'm surprised they blew the Commanders out like that. After the Commanders had a very gutsy, very physical performance against the Broncos. All right, so I said that the Jets was going to beat the Dolphins 24-12. The Dolphins flipped that. They beat them 34-10. So I was wrong on that one. So the Dolphins they played very, very well. The Jets has been it's just been a terrible season for the Jets. Hopefully they can get it together next year. Hopefully Aaron Glenn can get it together for them next year. This is his first year, so I'm not going to go too hard on Aaron Glenn. I think Aaron Glenn is going to be a really great head coach. I think he can. So Tua, he was 13-21, 127 yards, 1 touchdown. So he was pretty average. He didn't really too much do anything. And then what did Justin? Yeah, Justin Fields out. That's right. Yeah, so that's whatever. It's nothing really exciting to watch about this game. All right, so I said that I also said that the Bucks was going to beat the Saints 35-25. The Saints beat the Bucks. Oh wow, the Saints beat the Bucks. Wow, the Saints beat the Bucks 24-20. Let me see. Baker Mayfield, what did he do? He was 14 for 30. He was terrible. 14-30, 122 yards, 1 touchdown. See, this is what I don't like, man. As soon as I start trying to give quarterbacks, I never really like their flowers. They play like trash. Baker Mayfield was solid in the beginning of this year, and he's been average for the past, 3 weeks? Completely average. He has been doing absolutely nothing. I've never been a fan of Baker Mayfield. Never. You you got Chris Godwin back. Chris Godwin was 5 for 55. Irvin 2 for 26, 1 touchdown. Ebuka, he has been doing nothing ever since that injury, and he came back from the injury. He has been doing absolutely nothing. The Bucks, they're not a threat anymore. They just lost to the Saints. But I did say this. I did say that both of those teams play very well against each other. The Saints knows the Bucks very well. The Bucks knows the Saints very well. I did say that this was going to be a close game. So I said that, but I just gave the game to the Bucks, thinking that they could probably come on top, and they didn't. They lost 24-20. Now, this was another team on that game I was wrong about. I said that the Bengals was going to beat the Bills 27-25. I figured it was going to be a fairly high-scoring game. The Bills beat the Bengals 39-34. And Joe Burrow was 25 for 36, 284 yards. He threw for 4 touchdowns. He had 2 picks. I think he had a really costly pick early in the game, and then later in the game, I think he had a really costly pick. So T. Higgins, he had 6 6 catches for 92 yards, 2 TDs. Chase was 5 for 54, 5 for 44. Jeske, he was 6 for 86 and a touchdown. Then who had the other touchdown? So he had 3, 4. And then C. Brown had another touchdown. Had a touchdown also, 312 touchdown. What did Josh Allen do? Josh Allen, he was 22. He was 22 for 28, 251 yards. He was 3 touchdowns, and he had 4 total touchdowns. You know, Josh Allen doing Josh Allen things. He had 4 total touchdowns. He had 9 carries for 78 yards and 1 rushing touchdown. Cook was 18 for 80. He had 2 fumbles. He had 2 costly fumbles. Yeah, so Josh Allen he played well. He played great. I can't take nothing away from Josh Allen. He played great. So, and then let's see, Denver and Vegas. Ooh, Denver almost lost to Vegas. Now I said this was going to be a close game. I was pretty close on this one. I said that the Broncos was going to beat the Raiders 25-23. I did say that don't be surprised that this game can be close because it's a divisional game and the Raiders just don't roll over. They just don't roll over. They do play tough. They do play physical. I think, Pete Carroll, another year with the Raiders and Pete Carroll getting a quarterback. Geno Smith is not your quarterback, Pete Carroll. He's not your quarterback. Let's not get too attached to Geno. Let Geno go. Geno ain't it. Go in it, get you a quarterback. Go quarterback shopping. As soon as the season's over, close the season out. You got 3 more weeks. As soon as the season's over, you need to start searching for a quarterback. You start watching, and I'm pretty sure you already are. So, but please don't stick with Geno Smith because it's going to cost you your job. I think the Raiders is going to probably end up firing Pete Carroll middle of next year if he sticks with Geno Smith. But I mean, again, even if he decides to, I'm pretty sure the upper management is going to have something to say about that. Because Geno Smith, he's not it, and he never was. He's just always been a really great game manager. Always, that's just always been the case. So yeah, Denver they beat the Raiders 24-17, and Bo Nix again. He wasn't the reason why the Broncos won. He was 31 for 30. That's pretty efficient though. 31 for 38. I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty efficient. 31-38, 212 yards, no touchdowns. He was sacked 3 times. He had an 81.6 completion percentage, and his quarterback rating 89.9. I mean, 31 for 38 is I can't take nothing away from Bo Nix on that one. That's just pretty efficient. Now Bo Nix did have a rushing touchdown. He was 3 yards for 15. I mean, 3 carries for 15 yards and a rushing touchdown. Okay, so Sutton 6 catches, 62 yards. It's pretty dope. So yeah, I mean yeah. And then what did Geno Smith? Geno Smith 13 for 21, 116 yards and a touchdown. It's just terrible. Ashton Genty was 10 carries for 30 yards. They're trying to run the ball with him, but they just can't get anything going. And so yeah. So I'm pretty sure, yeah. Let's see. And then we got the Bears, and the Bears lost to the Packers. Oh wow. I think I actually predicted the Bears to win this game. Yeah, I did. I said the Bears is going to win this game 29-27. So the Packers won this game 28-21. So Caleb Williams, he had a costly interception through a costly pick. He kind of lofted a little bit and cost a costly pick. I think it was trying to toss it to DJ Moore, and yeah, that was a costly interception. Caleb Williams he's moldy. He's getting better. I think Caleb Williams is slowly progressing. I think Caleb Williams is going to end up being really, really great. I really do. But he's just going to take some time. But the Bears they're still in the hunt. They're still there, not in the hunt. They're still in the playoff run. They're still can make some noise in the playoffs. They really can. And Caleb Williams he's such a talented player. So he's just got to work on his fundamentals, and that's exactly what Ben Johnson is doing. It's going to take some time, and it's showing. If you watch these games with Caleb Williams and the Bears, you see that he's getting better. You got to just really watch the game. Now his stats are interesting. Now you look at his stats and you look at the stuff, you'd be like, he's not getting better, but he is. I mean, he was 1935, 186 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick. It's nothing to really like praise about, but I have all the faith in the world for Caleb Williams. I do. Just like I had all the faith in the world for Sam Darnold. Now look at Sam Darnold. Swift, he played pretty well. Right. You know, he's a really good running back. 13 for 63 yards. And yeah, so what Lovely do? Lovely was 4 catches, 29 yards, 1 TD. So, and then what did Jordan Love do? Jordan Love, he was pretty solid. He was 17, 25, 234 yards, 3 TDs. He had a pick. He was sacked 1 time. So yeah, Jordan Love was pretty efficient. I'm not really scared of the Packers, man. I don't really think the Packers is going to really do that much in the playoffs. I think the Bears can make a bigger run than the Packers though in the playoffs because the Bears are built how their team is designed. They're designed to go deeper into the playoffs than the Packers are. And I've been saying this because the Bears have a very efficient running game. They have the best running game in the NFL, and they have a really physical defense. They lost to the Packers, obviously, but the Packers knows the Bears. The Bears knows the Packers. They're divisional opponents, so that game's going to go either way. And the Bears could have won this game if it wasn't for that costly interception by Caleb Williams, but towards the end of the game. But the Bears had this game won, so I'm not really too much worried about this loss. It's the NFL. It's whatever. But I really do think that the Bears can go deep into the playoffs. I think, to be honest with you, I think the Bears. I'm trying to think, like other than the Seahawks, and the Rams, I really think the Bears are the most dangerous, scariest team in the NFC. I really do think that, and I definitely think that when they get to the playoffs, they're going to be very scary. Mark my words. I do think I think they can because they have a physical defense and then they have a brilliant offensive mind in Ben Johnson, and they have a really great finance running game. That they're going to make some noise in the playoffs. They have to, and if they don't for any reason, it's because it's Ben Johnson's first year, and they're going to be going against teams that's more, I guess you could say, that has more experience, like the Rams. You know what I'm saying, or like the Eagles. That'll be the only reason. That'll be the only case. Only reason. Only teams I would say that the teams that would, if the Bears were to get knocked out of the playoffs, I would say is going to be probably the Seahawks or the Rams. I don't see any other team in NFC knocking the Bears out of the playoffs. I really don't. So we'll see. We'll see, man. But I do like the Seahawks too. So, but if I were to pick, I would pick the Bears to make a run to the Super Bowl. I really would for the NFC, represent the NFC. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna say it's gonna be right now. I'm gonna say it's gonna be the Bears, and I want to wait for the Chargers before I start crowning the Chargers to make a run. I want to wait for them for quick, but I want to say I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm gonna stick with the Bears and the Patriots. I'm gonna say it's gonna be the Bears and the Patriots. So that's my pick for right. That's my predictions right now, and I say the Bears win it. I think the Bears can win it all. Yeah. Right, so let's see. All right, so and then we got the Rams looking like they back. The Rams just blew out the Cardinals 45-17. So that's a huge blowout win. That's a statement win for the Rams, letting them put in the whole league on notice that they ain't going nowhere, even though they had that costly loss. I think it was last week against the was it the Jaguars or was it the Dolphins? I think it was the Dolphins that the Rams lost to. Yeah, I think it was the Dolphins. Yeah. So, yeah, but Matthew Stafford, efficient as ever. Matthew Stafford should just more likely just get MVP this year. He was 22 for 31, 281 yards, 3 touchdowns. Blake Corum snapped off 12. I always liked Corum. I was waiting for him to really, start making his statement. 12 carries, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then Kyren Williams, 1384, 1 touchdown. Now, here I am talking about the Bears running game. The Rams, they have a very, very good running game too. I think they have 2 really great. I can't say great, but 2 very, very physical running backs in Blake Corum and Kyren Williams. They're pretty much the same quarter running back, man. They literally are. And I was actually hoping that the Chargers probably could have got Corum, but it's okay. The Chargers, they got 2 really great running backs. I keep saying great. They're not great, but they're really good, in Kamani Vidal and Amarion Hampton. we got our 1-2 punch, man. And they're both are very young running backs. Like this is only Kamani's second year, and this is Amarion Hampton's first year, rookie year. And who knows? Maybe we can bring back Najee Harris. I would love that. We can have a 3-headed monster. So that's going to be very exciting to watch, man. With the Chargers next year. I think that's even this year. This year's not even over. Going into the playoffs. But yeah, Blake Corum and Kyron Williams, they're really great. They're really, really good running backs. And so the Rams, they have a pretty good running game too. So, so their offense is elite. Puka Nacua, 7 catches, 167 yards, 2 touchdowns. Devontae Adams, 4 catches, 29 yards. But of course, it's not always about the stats. It's like what the damage and the effectiveness that they do while they're on the field, their presence. So that's that. The Rams are definitely going to be a scary team to watch in the playoffs. But I think the Bears can give them a run for their money. I really do. I do. I really do. But like I said, if the Bears were to lose, it's going to be an experienced NFC team like the Rams, or the Eagles. The Eagles, even though the Eagles are not playing all that well all year, the Eagles defense is still great. They still got a great running back. They still got a very, very, very great experienced head coach in Nick Sirianni. You may not like Nick Sirianni, but he has done he's probably had the best 4-year head coaching, like the first 4-year head coaching career to any head coach in NFL history, or at least comparable to any head coach in their first year in NFL history. What Nick Sirianni has done his first few years as an Eagle head coach is unheard of. So, you got to put some respect on on Nick Sirianni's name. But the Eagles go to the playoffs. Look out for them. And if Dallas goes, I don't think Dallas is going to be all that a threat as much people think they are. I really don't, because their quarterback, I think Dak Prescott holds the Dallas Cowboys back. I'm not that big on Dak Prescott. I think Dak Prescott is not as great as people try to make him, but I think he's good, but I don't think he's great. I don't think he's a top 5. I don't think he's as great as people try to say, so, but I think the teams in the NFC that's going to be, like I said, it's going to be scared for the Bears is the Eagles and the Rams. The Eagles and the Rams, not even the Seahawks, so that's that. Sunday Night Football. I wanted to do my recap for Sunday Night Football with the Chiefs and the Houston Texans. It's always I don't like really betting against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid like that. Like as I said before, I was like, anytime when you got a Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame quarterback, you always got a chance. But this year, the Chiefs' chance is slowly slipping away. I think the Chiefs are pretty much out of the playoffs, and I'm pretty much going to say if they lose one more game, they're done. And the Chargers can put an end to the Chiefs next week or this upcoming week, Sunday. Yeah, I think the Chargers they're playing Sunday, right? Yeah. So the Chargers can definitely put an end to them. Now, will they? That remains to be seen. I don't know. But right now, the Chargers, they got a lot of momentum right now. They got a lot of juice. They're not playing around. And the Chargers takes it 1 week at a time. So we're going to see, how healthy Justin Herbert is. And we're going to see if that Chargers team can hold up, because Jim Harbaugh has us playing very great, man. And, Jim Harbaugh, what he's doing for us right now is all respect to him, because him and Greg Roman, I have been very frustrated, especially with Greg Roman. I have been very frustrated with them this year. And we lost some games that we really shouldn't have lost. And I say that we lost some games in the form of fashion that we shouldn't have lost in a form of fashion. But for the fact that for Jim Harbaugh to still keep us upright into 9-4, like when was the last time the Chargers were 9-4? Like I think last year we won 10 games. So if we're more than likely going to get 11 games. We're going to win 11 games this week. And and hold on, I got a super chat. My first chat. But yeah, man, Jim Harbaugh coming to the Chargers. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to our franchise outside of Martin Schottenheimer, you know. And so I have to thank the Spanos family for bringing in Jim Harbaugh and Jim Harbaugh bringing in his staff, because I was telling one of my friends, you know, before the season, I was like, if the Chargers can just get one, if the Chargers can just get 11 wins, because I think we had 10 wins last year. I think we only had 10 wins last year. If the Chargers can get 11 wins to get one playoff win, that's a huge accomplishment for Justin Herbert. Huge accomplishment for Justin Herbert. And, you know, and I've just been so pissed off with the media of how disrespectful they've been to my boy Justin Herbert. And like, I was kind of arguing with somebody, not arguing, but I was on Facebook. And somebody was knocking Justin Herbert after they beat the Eagles, because one of the reporters was trying to stop Justin Herbert. She was trying to have a after game interview, and Justin Herbert didn't want to talk to her. He was like, "I'm trying to celebrate with my team," and she was like, "I know, but we're just trying to interview you real quick." It's like, bro. And then I was telling people were knocking Justin Herbert. It was like, "Oh, he's going to get fined and yada yada yada." But I'm like, bro, wait, hold on. I'm done with my team. Every week we get sold the same shit. We got to do better. Wait, who is this? Hold on. Let me. Are you an Eagles fan? Done with your team? Hold on. Who is your team? I don't know. My bad. I don't know who this is. I don't know the YouTube profiles. Yeah, but what was I saying? Yeah, so there was knocking. Yeah, so like the media for years, man, has been knocking Justin Herbert, and I just like now all of a sudden he's winning. And yeah, I came across your channel just to piss off Eagles fan. Oh man, no, bro, you can't be done with your team, bro. Like, bro, like, be honest with you, the Eagles is one of the greatest franchises in NFL. Like, it's the NFL, bro. Like, it happens. Like, this is coming from a Chargers fan, dog. Like, nah, you y'all spoiled, bro. Y'all win Super Bowls, man. Y'all win Super Bowls. Like, there's no team that says, I mean, I can say there's no team and no franchise, but there's very few franchises in NFL that's as great as a franchise as the Eagles. You guys have outside of the Chiefs general manager, arguably you guys have the best general manager in the entire NFL, hands down. Like, you know what I'm saying? So nah, bro. Like, it's one game. It's one game. I mean, I know it's kind of frustrating, infuriating to lose in the form and fashion of how y'all lost tonight. But like I was saying earlier, I mean, I think it was more about the Chargers defense than it was about how bad the Eagles played tonight. And how, well, I can't really even say the Eagles, because I don't think the Eagles played bad. It was, to be honest with you, it was really your quarterback, Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts is not that type of quarterback to make those type of mistakes. And that's why I was like, I wasn't even going to like get on Jalen Hurts that much, because like I was saying earlier, I honestly, it was just more about how physical the Chargers were. You know, I've been watching football since I've been 14 years old. I never seen Tom Brady or Peyton Manning have games like this, but I've seen them have very bad games. I have seen them make very bad decisions, make very bad mistakes. And Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time. And what was the factor of that? It was physical defenses, like, you know, the physicality of the team. And it doesn't matter how great of a quarterback you are, if you are going to come out there and be a physical defense, the quarterback is going to make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? You're going to maneuver the ball. And so that was the thing with Jalen Hurts. That was all. That was the only thing. So, you know, you're good, bro. Like, you guys, I like Nick Sirianni. I used to didn't really like Nick Sirianni, but you know, Nick Sirianni is a great coach. You got a great team. So, you know, let me see. Hold on. Bro, I have Hampton on my fantasy. I was pissed and happy at the same time. Mario Hampton is that dog, bro. I'm also happy when we drafted Mario Hampton. I'm telling you, he was due for a bad game. I'm more pissed at AJ Draw. Yeah, AJ Brown. Yeah. AJ Brown's a great wide receiver, but see, you make yourself look bad when you are running your mouth and you're kind of low key putting your quarterback and your team under the bus, and you come out there and you drop balls like that, you know. So I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you, bro. Yeah. Look, man, y'all are out the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still going to the playoffs. You guys are still one of the most experienced teams in the playoffs. This is not like this. I'm not gonna say this is nothing, but you know, like I said, a loss doesn't really it doesn't feel good, but it's not the same for y'all. It's not the same for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So the Chargers can't afford to lose these games anymore. You know what I'm saying? You got to also take into factor too. You guys flew all the way from the East Coast to LA. You know, that plays a big part as well. And then we got Jim Harbaugh now. So you got to take that into consideration too. Jim Harbaugh is one of the best coaches in the NFL. And you give Jim Harbaugh a whole freaking week to prepare for an Eagles team. You gotta bet your ass that our Chargers are gonna come out there very prepared. You know what I'm saying? And you know, no disrespect to Jalen Hurts, but the Chargers, they also got a better quarterback, you know, than the Eagles. You know, so you gotta play all that in consideration. So man, y'all gonna be fine, bro. The Eagles gonna be fine. Like I don't know how long you've been watching this video, but like I was saying, I picked the Bears to go all the way. But I said if the Bears were to lose in the playoffs, it's going to be against two very experienced teams, the Rams, the Eagles. So those are going to be the two teams that I will say that's going to knock the Bears out, because I think the Bears can be a very dangerous team going to the playoffs, making a run to the Super Bowl because how they're built. They have a very physical defense. They have one of the most physical defenses in the entire NFL. The only defenses I can say that's more physical than the Bears defense is probably like the Texans and the Broncos. Now, the Eagles, you guys got a pretty physical defense too, but it's not like the Bears. And then you talk about their running game. The Bears running game. I mean, you're an Eagles fan. You saw how great their running game was last week. I mean, you know what I'm saying? The Bears, they got the best running game in the entire NFL. And what can drive a team all the way deep into the playoffs is great defense, great running game. You know what I'm saying? So that's I feel like the only team that can really knock the Bears out, you know, is the Eagles and the Rams. So that's that for that, you know. But yeah, man, don't beat yourself up. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, man. So that's all I freaking got tonight, though. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about the Chiefs. I kind of talked about the Chiefs and the Texans, but yeah, I picked the Chiefs to beat the Texans, but Texans again. That just proves my point. Look how Patrick Mahomes, he didn't play too bad, but when you're a physical team, man, you could just knock the quarterback off his game. And they didn't too much knock Patrick Mahomes off his game, but they knocked the receivers off their game. Rashee Rice dropping balls, Travis Kelce not knowing what he's doing. A physical team, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but that's all I got for tonight, though. For real, man. Bro, I really thank you for commenting and chiming in, in the live chat. Kind of be my first. And yeah, I decided to do these live videos because I felt like they would be a lot more better me engaging live with my audience and stuff. So I'm definitely going to be doing this, at least after every primetime game. So, after every Thursday night game, after every Sunday night game, after every Monday night game, and also, do my predictions before also. But yeah, man, Sandeep, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for chiming in, and we're going to be back very soon. And thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to close up and yeah, like, comment, share, subscribe all day. You have a good night too, bro. Thank you.